Okay, remember they're changing my voice. Here I am back at Paradise Park, though we've had some minor incidences with people going the distance to harass me. And I just want to talk about organized harassment, especially for people in this area. I don't want them to think that I'm some crazy guy making videos here for no reason. I'm actually helping the entire country to some degree, and it could be to a lot much greater degree if people rally for the solutions that I suggest. Okay? And it's actually the right thing to do. So we live in a sort of modern white slave master system, right? Jewish and LGBT, right? Again, I'm trying to help everyone, including white people. Shout out to white people, so to speak. And shout out to Jews. Shout out to LGBT people. I'm trying to help everyone do the right thing. Okay. So it's like a neo-slave master system, right? Where we look at Rome, for example, it continued for a long time, then it morphed into the kind of modern Western culture, and then the rest of the governments of the world are kind of modeled after the old Roman government. Okay. And so slavery and segregation weren't that long ago, in terms of on the greater timeline of history. So we kind of live in a neo-segregation system, a neo-slave master system, where black people are said to be 12 to 13% of the population and own less than 1/2 of 1% of the capital. And it's easy to correct that problem by restructuring the school systems with certain taxes, by not suppressing certain types of black people who would lead their community, by not suppressing certain types of philosophies. This problem is easy to address. Economics disparity is not difficult to address if you're actually trying to address it as a nation. It is a walk in the park. And in a sense, it's a walk in the park because I'm at the park on top of that, right? I go to these parks like daily these days, and all you have to do is kind of rally to me. We discuss it. The movement grows. Before you know it, we're solving these problems. But they refuse to do that. So first, let's talk about some symptoms of these problems. So even the most racist Republican, the most fanatic Republican, the most disingenuous, and intellectually dishonest Republicans and their liberal counterparts or whoever um, can be forced to admit that I'm right. So first of all, why is it called slave wages? Why are they called slave wages? Why do many Republicans themselves complain about how they've worked for decades for a company and they don't have anything to show for it? Okay, this is suggesting the term slave wages. Okay, why are they called that? Because only when you think like a neo-slave master, right? When you think like a slave master, do you think that a system that pays unfair wages is okay? So you're arguing by your actions that it's okay as long as it's somebody who you approve of doing it. Okay? There's different ways to run a system. Okay? There's like $70 trillion in wealth or more in 22.5 million Americans' hands. If we would distribute just one, 14th of that, that would be $5 trillion. With $5 trillion, we can wipe out homelessness, never coming back. Okay? And this is not a massive redistribution. This is just 1/14. If you have $14 million, that's just $1 million. You still have $13 million. We have $140 million. That's just $10 million. You still have $130 million. If you have $140 million, what do you need that extra $10 million for? You see what I'm saying? And it would just wipe out poverty, the end of child hunger. We could restructure the school system. There's so much good that we could do if we did it that way. So when they refuse to do it that way, we know that that's a slave master philosophy. They want people groveling to them, okay? And they want to be part of a privileged group in society. And they want people to kiss their ass and do what they say and to be abused and so on and so forth. It's sad, but that's the reality. My next point was actually them not passing the War on Poverty plan. So, there's variations. If in the last 10 years, okay, we passed a plan where, people pay 50 cents a month on average for less than millionaires and $20 a month on average for people worth $1 million or more, which is nothing. This is a very small amount of money. Okay, very small. It's $240 a year on average. If you just have $1 million, you might pay $7 a month or whatever. $10 a month maybe. It's nothing. Just a couple dollars a week. Okay? If we had passed that plan and stuck to it nationwide and created a standard where we build tiny homes for $30,000 per home with land purchase included, cramming 100 of them on 10, 15 acres, for example, coming in about $800,000 nationwide for the 10, 15-acre land purchase. In some places, it might be just $400,000, right? So it averages out. Then we could have built, 2 million homes, tiny homes, in the last 10 years. And we would have wiped out homelessness. We'd have saved all kinds of money that is being used to put them in hotel rooms. We could have used that money for food programs. They didn't do that. Why? A little kid could have thought of this. I do not have a degree in economics, but I thought of this pretty easily. This is not hard to come up with. So we can quickly come to the conclusion that they deliberately have allowed for homelessness to continue. This is something they're doing on purpose. What is 50 cents a month to you on average? Say you're a little bit near twice as the average, you have to pay $1 or something. What's $1 a month? The vast majority, 127 million taxpayers or something, $1 a month. The other 22.5 million or so, who are worth $1 million or more, what's $20 a month on average to them? What's $20 a month to someone worth $3 million? It's nothing, right? We could have built 2 million tiny homes. There's only like 650,000 homeless people in America. It's a lot, but compared to the 2 million tiny homes, we could have rented out the other ones. We could do pay-as-you-can plans, where some of these people who used to be homeless, move into these homes, they pay $100, $200 a month for rent, $400, and we could help fund food programs and security and law enforcement and whatever else needs to be done. Why didn't we do that? Because